say a few words?
Sure. Hey, everybody, you ready to win?
Yeah.
I will make this quick because there are a lot of us to talk. As we all know, there were a field of 11. And congratulations, hungcao. I'm so excited that you are the nominee. I've been saying for the last few weeks, if anybody beats me, I hope it is hungcao. I went to bed on Saturday night at peace. At peace because I have a faith in the Lord, and I know that He has different plans for me than what Janine Lawson had for herself, and I'm okay with that. And I also went to bed with a peace knowing that we put up a fierce competitor and a great American who has an amazing story to tell. Yeah. And he did a fabulous job of telling a lot of people in a short amount of time, raised a ton of money. Mm-hmm. And if I was Jennifer Wexton, I'd be really, really worried. Truly easy for me to easily get on hungcao's bandwagon and say, Hung, I am 110% in. I will work hard to help you flip this seat because our nation is in dire perils right now. And Jennifer Wexton owns it, and we are going to do everything we can to make sure that you, sir, are the one elected to represent the people of the country.
There are two methods of curing the mischiefs of factions. The one, by removing its causes, the other, by controlling its effects. There are again two methods to removing the causes of faction. The one, by destroying the liberty which is essential to its existence. The other, by giving every citizen the same opinions, the same passions, and the same interest. It could never be more truly said than of the first remedy, that it was worse than the disease. Liberty is to faction what air is to fire, an ailment without which instantly expires. But it could not be less folly to abolish liberty, which is essential to political life, because it nourishes faction, than it would be to wish annihilation of air, which is essential to animal life, because it imparts to fire its destructive agencies. There were 11 of us. They were factions. But now it's time to come together and work. And I look forward to being able to help Hung explain to the Democrats how government is supposed to work. On our side, teach them about capitalism and Republican government. And I look forward to seeing Hung get sworn in. What is it, January, right? Get my dates right. In January. And I thank you all so much for the opportunity to be here and to be working for this great party. Thank you.
Used to this. This is different for me, talking to a crowd. But no, what a great race. You know, I love you, brother. Well, it said this was going to be the year of the American veteran. And I was right. Yeah. There were 3 veterans running in here. This is the most we've ever had many veterans running across the country. Veterans know what it's like to sacrifice. Veterans know what it's like to serve. And more importantly, our families also know the importance of serving. And we look forward to backing you and covering you in prayer and anything you guys need. Mm-hmm. And that means anything. Because what we've seen, we saw what happened yesterday with the tragic shooting in Texas. But we saw what the Democrats tried to do. They didn't come together for healing. They tried to come after our constitutional rights. Yeah, right. So we've got, in times like this, that's when you're proving your mettle. Is when you stand firm, you stand fast, and you say, our constitutional rights matter. America matters. America is still worth fighting for. And by golly, we're going to get behind hungcao and his family. We're going to take this district, along with the other 2 districts here in Virginia. We're going to turn it red, because we have no choice. We have to win. By God, we will.
Oh, start by saying thank you. Thank you to every single person that volunteered for any of the campaigns. Thank you for everyone that worked to pull off that firehouse canvas and worked all day with those long lines on Saturday. And thank you for every single person who voted, because we sent a clear, powerful message to the Democrats that we are going to fight and we're going to win in November. And thank you in advance for every single one of you who are going to volunteer to help get this mail. Because we have to win. Our constitutional rights, our God-given inalienable rights, family values, our schools, our college campuses, the military, even the Supreme Court is under a relentless attack by the radical left, the divisive equity agenda, racist identity politics. We need to fight back. We need to win. We must win. And we will win with hungcao.
Hello, everyone. So I grew up in Percival, well, in Hamilton, right outside Percival, and I've been going to the same barber since I was 9 years old, and Daryl's Barbershop, and I went in there and I got my hair cut, and he goes, "Hey, I've never had two candidates. I got this guy hungcao who's and the next time I went in, he had his poster up in his whites in a business suit, and I said, "Oh crap." I can't be more proud to run a race against you. You're a father, a leader, a man of honor. So we look forward to helping you win in November, and hopefully we'll be sharing maybe some barber chairs next to each other. And I appreciate it, and thank you very much.
I ran into some posters in Percival with Hung's face on them, so they don't would be in any place. Let me ask Caleb Max, if you'd like to speak.
Hello, everybody. I'll tell you, it's a great time to be a Republican in Virginia. Are we right? Yes, it is. Especially in Virginia 10. I remember when I first announced for Congress, I announced because I was worried about where the nation's headed. I'm worried about the future of our children. I'm worried about the national debt. I'm worried about China. I'm worried about a lot of things. And you often hear when you're on the campaign trail and all these fine individuals who are out there know, people are really struggling out there, and it's not easy to step into this life. And I knew it was a long shot from the beginning at my age and everything else, but I felt pretty good. But I'll never forget, it was early in January when I still hadn't announced yet, and there was this rumor of this guy, Captain hungcao, who might be running. And I hadn't really heard much about him. I hadn't looked him up, and so finally I started doing some research. And I remember my consultants, we were all talking like, there's got to be something on this guy. Like, what can we do? This guy's pretty much perfect. And then it got even worse. It found out that this guy has invented Easter eggs for blind children. And every time we gave a speech, or one time my dad came and said, I swear, hungcao adds another thing to his resume every single time I hear him. But we are really honored to have hungcao as our nominee. I'm honored to support him. My grandfather, Frank Wolf, wishes he could be here tonight, and he's going to support him as well. And I would encourage everybody, as a candidate, we all know, especially the former and future candidates up here, it takes money to do this. I'm going to be sending a check to hungcao later this week. I hope everybody else here in the room does as well. We're proud of you, and it's been an honor to be able to get beat by you.
Thank you, Caleb. Dave, here you go.
Well, thanks everyone for being here. It was quite an experience to run. I will say the worst day on the campaign trail was that day. I can't remember, it was in February. My staff sent me an email saying, hey, there's a new guy who just announced. His resume. I thought, oh man, what have I done? I sent a note out the morning of the election, thanking the candidates for a great race, congratulating everyone. And I said, you know, what was really good about this race is all 11 of us, I think at times, raised the bar for the other candidate. Yeah. And Hung did that constantly. He made us play our best game, and hopefully we pushed him and helped prepare him for what's coming. We know it's going to be ugly. Yeah. So we know that we're going to be there. We've got your backs. And we know that we're going to do everything we can to make you successful and help you win, and to volunteer as many hours as are needed. So congratulations, I'm looking forward to it. And it's not a matter of getting Hung to Congress, it's really a matter of saving our nation and helping us to get where we need to be. So thanks for very much, and good luck, Godspeed.
So this is what $7,000 gets you. You get a chance to speak. Thank you all so much. The year running for this seat was amazing. I met so many people. I know I grew as a person, and I know we all grew. I think the best thing about this campaign was how positive it was. We were talking about issues. We were talking about the things that we could do to make things better. We were trying to bring a message of hope to this. And as I sat in that line out at Loudon Valley High School for 8 hours, I was shocked, but I was hopeful. You know, people would talk about the bad things in our country, but really, we know that we can change stuff. We know we can make it better. And people really want to change. They want things to get better, and they're hopeful, and they're optimistic. They're tired of all this division, all this stuff that's driving us apart. And I think, hungcao, you're the guy to do it. I mean, you brought so many people to the polls. You brought so many people together. And I'm so excited that you're the candidate. And I know we're going to win November. Thank you.
Thank you, John. As I was saying a little bit earlier, the event on Saturday, the primary was the largest single event that I'm aware of in 10th District history. We had 15,174 voters that turned out and cast ballots, and that's a record. Now, when we were counting the ballots back here on Saturday night, it took 9 rounds to get to the winner. hungcao was first with 52.3% of the vote. Janine Lawson was second with 33.8% of the vote. And Brandon Maishon was third with 13.9% of the vote. Well, it took 9 rounds to get to that conclusion. It became apparent early on, because the candidates' positions never changed. It became apparent early on that hungcao was going to win, ultimately, because of the way the votes were dropping. And that's exactly what happened.
He kicked our butts.
Choice of words, And I think, as a couple of candidates mentioned here a minute ago, our 10th District nominee has quite a resume, but I'll let him tell you about it because I don't have that much time. However, I will sum him up in his resume in 2 words, and that's the American dream. hungcao is the personification of the American dream. If there was an American dream definition in Webster's dictionary, which they don't print anymore, his picture would be right there next to it, as an example. And I can tell you one thing, Jennifer Wexton better tighten her skates because she's in for the ride of her life. hungcao, he's a warrior, he's a father, he's our 10th District nominee, and it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce you to the next 10th District Congressman in Washington.
I didn't run against you. We ran together in the same direction. And so thank you so much for being beside me and honestly for teaching me so much along the way. I really learned so much from each and every one of you, and I plan to continue to learn from you as we go forward and into Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored that you're here today, and I'm honored to be your nominee. And it's hard for me right now because I don't want to be dancing and celebrating on such a sad day, right? With everything happening in Texas yesterday, we've lost that sense of civility and compassion in our lives. I mean, this is just pure evil. And at the same time that happened in Texas, in Alexandria, 30 to 50 kids got in a fight. A dozen were stabbed. One was stabbed to death. These are children. I mean, that boy was weeks away from graduating from high school. He was 18 years old. These are children that will never grow up. They'll never grow old. They'll never be married. They'll never have children. And I need to know why we can't come together as a nation right now. Instead of politicizing everything, let's come together and heal each other, heal each other's nation. So let us be the people that do that. Yeah. Let us reach out and hold each other and uplift each other. I think that we all can share the same love and same passion for this country. We just see things a little differently. But if we can just agree on just the fact that we love this country so much, I think we could start there instead of dividing each other. Yeah. And we need to address really mental health. I just lost a good friend of mine to mental health. He took his own life. He's a retired master police officer, a bomb tech, and it's just we need to address that. Instead of looking after the symptoms, let's go after the real problem, which is a mental health issue in this country, which is growing. But ladies and gentlemen, there's hope. Look at you all. This is hope right here. When I looked out there, like John said, on Saturday, and we went pole to pole, just the lines outside the doors, it's hope. It's us saying, look, enough. You can't step on our rights and our liberties. You can't go into our businesses and tell us what to do. You can't go into our churches and tell us when to worship. You can't go get into our homes. And by golly, you can't touch our kids. That's right. That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to celebrate today. I mean, it's because I'm not really defeating anybody. I just stepped across the finish line just one step just before everyone else. But we're all running in the same direction here. It's that fight in November that we're going against somebody. This ideology that tears us apart. That just takes us man versus woman, black versus white, Latinos, Asians, whatever. I mean, they try to divide us because they know together we're stronger. Right? Our country's motto is E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. The flag I wear on my shoulder is the flag of the United States of America, and my heart is the red, white, and blue. And so we're going to go forward, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to show this nation what it means to come together as a nation, come together as a district, as a community, to love each other, to take care of each other, and uplift each other. We may have different ideas and visions, but at least we have the same basic foundation, which is that we love this country so much, we're willing to fight for it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you for the next 6 months. I know it's a long this is going to be a marathon. I ask you for the next 6 months to go out there and talk to your neighbors. And you know what? If you see them hurting, then go help them. Show them what the love is, what love truly is. And hopefully we can bring back civility to this world. Amen. When you see someone pulled over to the side of the road, just pull over and help them. That's the American way. That's what the American spirit is. The American spirit that won't let us, get down. You can knock us down like they did in 9/11, but we got back up. Right? I mean, that's what we did. We did that in World War II. You know that every ship that was sunk in Pearl Harbor, with the exception of USS Arizona and USS Utah, were raised back up to the surface and refitted for war. And sent back out to chase the same Japanese fleet that sank them. That's the American spirit, that we won't be held down. Just like in 9/11, we took the medals from the World Trade Centers and we forged it into the USS New York, a warship. That's the American spirit. And that's who we are as a nation. Yes, you took us down, you knocked us down with COVID, but we got back up and we're stronger now. And you woke in a sleeping bear. And we're going to go out there and we're going to say, give us our nation back. Do not step on our rights. Government's here to work for us, not the other way around. Amen. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go forward. We're going to take it back this country. We're going to make it back into the United States of America. I ask you tonight, all of you, all the candidates, all of you here, keep me accountable. You keep me accountable to my oath of office and what I stand for. Keep me accountable to you, because I answer to you and I answer to God. So thank you so much for being here tonight. God bless you all.
Thank you all for being here. We've got a great candidate in hungcao.
Yes.
We just need to carry this energy, this enthusiasm into the summer and on through into November, and we will win just like we did last year. Thanks for coming out.